This is Outcast Motorsports Unlimited. With your host, Michael McKinnon.
So we see Ian Montrose able to dominate. Look at that, already a mistake. We're doing her live this morning. Welcome in to Outcast Unlimited. This is our second episode right there. We had a little snafu already, so that's awesome. But welcome in, everybody. Glad to see you. We're going to try to entertain you a little bit this morning and do some interviews, show you some highlights from the Homestead Miami races. So I'm getting pretty excited about it. I know one thing about Homestead. We all went down there for the whole week. Great racing. I mean, it had a couple of dominating performances, but overall the racing was good. But the overall discussion as we were walking around the track there the whole week really was, it was about this.
There, it's hot. Damn hot. Real hot. Hot in this is my shorts. I can cook things in it.
Yeah, it was hot down in Homestead, everybody. And I mean, like, track temps, you're looking at 130, 135 degrees. These guys had to really, really fight for what they were trying to do. But the action, it kicked off on Monday night. Now, sorry, this is our first time trying this live. I'm actually live. I'm trying to look over here. You're going to see me looking. I'm looking for the comments so we can get right in there. So, but what we're going to do, we're going to start this off with our Monday series, the Next Gen series. And we saw Robert Tibbs on the pole. The track, like I said, it's hot, it's slick. What's going to happen, we're not real sure. So just to show you what happened right off the bat, it kind of caught everybody off guard, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to bring you the start of this. This is the Glatt Dad and me. We're on the call of the start, and you tell me what happened. Get myself situated in my seat. I'm ready for this one. This track is fantastic. Low, high, middle. You don't know where anybody's going to be. This is going to be great.
It's going to be a good one for sure. Pace car's coming off, so here we go. Getting ready for the green flag here at Homestead Miami. 117 laps scheduled for tonight. Green flag in the air, side by side, the 19 and the 10. Both get a really good start here, 2 by 2. The 10 going ahead, going down to the bottom. Drew Calvert up top here. Well, middle. Oh, and Robert Tibbs, he's gone.
Yeah. Whee! Goodness, hey, right in your lap.
A lot.
And it was right in your lap. Now that looks like, somebody made a mistake, all this. What we understand is, we believe there was some connectivity issues with the wheel, with the pedals. He had a little, he got down below the line. It was not a good start, but this right here, I'm going to show you what makes OCM so good. We had a couple other camera angles and all that, so you can really get an idea of what kind of transpired during all this wreck. So see if I can find it right here. I'm proud of this. I think everybody should be proud of this angle. This is quite a look at what happened as we started the race. And everybody's coming in there hard. Couldn't help myself, everybody. That's kind of what it looked like from my perspective, right? You're trying to get woed down, but you're just not going to get woed down. So the race transpired. We had to, like I said, a few of the really fast guys, they got some damage. They were able to get in the pits a few times to get it fixed, and then the same name started come to the front. We're starting to see this guy show himself, starting to show how strong he can be. So for the last couple laps, we're going to take it back to the Glatt Dad and myself, and we're going to be able to see the ending of the Homestead Next Gen race.
To win the championship.
Well, you're right. I mean, that's what I was talking about. He has a great points right in front of him right here. Good start from Dalton that time again. Montrose kind of stacked up the outside lane.
And here comes those fresh tires of Kelly up through the field right now.
Yeah, he's easing right in there. As I said, here comes Ainsworth. Got a little piece of the wall there.
With Ainsworth now in third. He's got Seamer right behind him. Zemer's going to be tight. He's going to go up the track. Yep, there he goes. He's got to let out a little bit.
Here we go.
2 laps to go here. Ainsworth on the high side. Kelly on the bottom. This is for 3rd place. Kelly's probably going to get this spot here.
Should.
He's got the tires. Oh, yeah, he's clear. He's up to 3rd now. And he's got the other 2 right here in front of him. Montrose now getting real close here to 34, Dalton Hall.
Here we go. White flag in the air.
Kelly's going to be all over him, though, and that's exactly what Dalton Hall wants to see. One more time around here for Dalton Hall. Kelly going to grab the 2nd spot here.
What they got for him in 3 and 4, I don't think he's going to have enough this far back.
Half a second lead here coming to the start finish line. Dalton Hall going to win for the 2nd time this season here in the Outcast Half Moon Designs Next Gen Cup Series.
All right, so there you have it. That's how it finished up. And 2 weeks in a row, Dalton Hall. Shots fired for the championship, maybe? Not real sure, but you got to put him in the conversation. That is a win at a short track. That's a win at a 1.5 mile track. So starting to really show his strength. And as I said, this is my first time doing this live. I got my stream over here. I want to say hey to Drew Calvert out there. I see y'all out there. The Glatt crew is watching. Lipweiler's watching. I appreciate y'all. Now, the key to this is whoever's watching right now, if you're not subscribed to this, submit a question. Give me a question. I don't care what it is. You know, it's like, man, how old are you really? Well, I'm getting up there. So, but we'll answer the question. If we pick the one that we like, use it on the air, you're going to win a 1-month subscription for the Twitch stream. So we appreciate all y'all being out there, loving it. So now what we're going to do, we're going to bring you the results. I'm just going to pop these up real quick so you can kind of see where your favorite driver might have finished. So here you go. There's your Next Gen Series. You see Dalton Hall first. John Kelly, we didn't talk about him enough right there. He had a set of tires and a couple more laps. I think he was going to get it done. Jacob Ainsworth just barely ahead of Ian Montrose right there. So there was your tops. It was a really fun race. It was surprising because as hot as the track was, they were really fighting it. So, all right, so what we do now, we're going to transition into Tuesday night trucks. Still hot, you know, it's the same deal. The track was unbelievably hot. So this is another kind of thing I think caught somebody off guard, but we're going to take you to the truck start and you're going to see just how slick this track was to begin with. So here you go. Tuesday night truck race. I believe we got Joel Kurth on the pole. He gets a jump, moves up high, and here you go. Going to be good. Like I said, these guys are going to have to tiptoe. If anybody tries to make any sudden moves, I think, you know, we can see a track blocker right away.
That's right. Here we go. Green flag starting off here side by side. Joe Kurth with a little bit of a jump here. Looking good as Montrose now taking the bottom. Oh, Joe Kurth going up. He's gone.
Yeah, yellow flag already. Yeah, that was kind of what the track was, right? He made one little move, slid out, around he went. Not a great start, but you'll see him back later in the race. He starts to make another comeback. He had showed real good speed. Several guys showed real good speed. But you'll see in the end, one guy had really good speed. He battled. You had Montrose. He battled with Youngblood for a while. We had other guys starting to come to the front, but they were fighting the trucks all night. Eventually, Youngblood lost a little track position, wasn't able to get back to it. So I'll bring you to the ending of the truck race right here as we recap the ending. I believe it went green, white, checkers, so we just have to see right here.
Looks like 4th place for now. I mean, we got 4 laps to go, so anything can happen. Oh, Joel Kurth, way slow on the track.
Yeah, he got into the wall as well.
He's up there blocking. So, oh, Yarbrough. He's going to make some nice passes happen here. as they're 3 wide right now. Yarborough on the bottom.
That's the beauty of this place, auto club, track like that. Go anywhere you want. Supreme battle for the last podium position.
Joe Kurth blocking here, trying to gain anything he can. He woed him up badly. Put all of them side by side.
At 2 laps to go here. Been a fast, entertaining race, though.
It has.
Let's see if Carson's got anything for him in the last 2 laps.
Trying to work his way around the outside. Kurt's going to go up, though. And block.
Oh, you know it.
Got one more time around here for Ian Montrose.
Hey, you deserve it, buddy. If you can bring it on home. It's been a dominating performance. I know we're calling for caution.
Oh, Josh Yarbrough. Josh Yarbrough just wrecked.
Oh, no. Sean Wilson may be involved.
And across the start-finish line, Ian Montrose. Brian Welchel involved.
All right, so Ian Montrose, dominating performance, led 93 of the 100 laps. But you heard those names at the end. That ending really cost Joshua Yarborough. Brian Welchel got caught up in it. There's a few more guys, so they're losing points right on the final lap. You had to feel kind of bad for it. It was a good overall race. As I said, long runs, hot track temps, but Montrose able to drive away. So I'll show you these results real quick, and then we'll get into talking about a couple other things here. So here's your truck results. There you go. You got Montrose first, Drew Calvert second, third Carson Youngblood. I mean, good runs from everybody. It was just hard for guys to catch Montrose. He was just super fast. Like I said, he led 93 laps. And I'll tell you what, we're going to bring you an interview with him here in a little bit. It's a pretty interesting one. And, I may have to cover up a little salty language maybe as we brought up the World Cup. So we'll see what we can do with that. But that'll bring us to our final set of races that we had. And that's the Gen 6. And I think what we're ending up going to see is kind of dominating as well. I believe this might be the one that went green, white checkers. I got a little confused there for a minute. But here's what I want you guys to do before I do this. If you're in the chat group, man, send me suggestions, send me comments, send me questions, anything you want to see doing this. Is going to be a weekly thing. And as I said, this is my first time doing it live. So if we make a mistake, we make a mistake. It is what it is. But light up the chat group with any kind of suggestions, questions, just overall anything you want to send. Send it on in to me and we'll take care of it as we go. All right, so this is going to bring us to Thursday night. We're going to run the Gen 6s at Homestead. I was not able to call this race. I'm sure it was still hot and slick. But what it came down to is we're down to, I believe it is green, white checkers. So we're going to take you to the finish of that. We'll get you the results. Then we'll move on to a few other things. So here's your Thursday night finish in the Gen 6.
All right, let's see here what these guys behind Montrose can do. Once again, Peterson with a fantastic jump this time over the 18. May clear him here out of the exit of 2. Oh, man, Peterson loose. That's going to send him up the track just a little bit. That's going to put Johnson back underneath him as the 44 is going to give him a helping hand here. And could, in fact, clear him here. Oh, the 44 tried to put it 3 wide here on the bottom. Thought better of it, had to back out. And the white flag's going to come out for Ian Montrose one more time around. Kel Peterson shipping it in, trying to get to the rear bumper of the 18. side by side. Who's going to get the third spot here? Ooh, the 44 and the 20 battling hard, but it's going to be Ian Montrose coming out of 4 to win the race here. Leading 100 laps of the 111.
I mean, there you go. Leading 100 laps of 111 total laps. Ian Montrose, Bulldog, having a huge week, right? 2 wins and a 4th. So I think he's got it figured out on that track just a little bit. So here, I'll bring you up these results here so you can kind of see where your driver finished. There you go. Montrose first. Eric Johnson, he pulls out the second place there. And then Jeremy Oliver in the 44 ends up third with a good battle with Cole Peterson. Terry Litweiler fifth. Christopher Jones sixth. So really good runs out of a lot of folks, right? So, but I mean, just Montrose just dominated the action down at Homestead for most of the week. So, you know, we after the race, we chased people down to victory lane and all that. And here's what Montrose had to say about how his week went.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff.
I mean, that's basically what he said. So he was completely dominant for the truck race Gen 6. Little damage on the next gen, but, you know, still a good finish. Came back for 4th. Okay, so now what we're going to do, for those of you that haven't seen the program, we have 3 interviews lined up for you today. We're going to bring you Ian Montrose. We're going to bring you a newcomer to the league, Bob Rediker. You're going to be able to hear him. He had a little connectivity issues with his mic. Something wasn't quite right, but you can hear it. And then we're going to bring you the Glatt Dad. I waited the whole time to get to talk to the Glatt Dad. Yeah, he gave us enough time, you know. He had short on time, but all good stuff coming up, folks. So what we're going to do, since we were just discussing Ian Montrose, I was going to wait a little bit, but I think we're going to go to that now. If we can find it here. There it is. All right, so we're going to go to the interview I had with Montrose. My microphone's a little down compared to his, but you'll get the overall gist of it. And hopefully, after we bring up the World Cup, I'll get a little beepy beep in there so we keep it a little bit PG. But here you go. Your 2-time winner at Homestead, Ian Montrose. All right, joined now by the Bulldog, Mr. Ian Montrose. We saw him dominate a truck race this week at Homestead. It was really fun to watch, man. And I'll tell you what, Ian, tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, where you're from, what brought you on the iRacing community.
Yeah, I am from England originally. I don't know if that gives it away, but yeah, I moved to America in 2009, and I went to short track racing when I was a kid in England, and watched stock car racing in England. So I was always a fan of stock cars, and so when I moved across to America and got married, had kids, and during the pandemic, I really got into NASCAR and wanted to do some sim racing, and so looked up on Google what there wasn't any NASCAR games out at that point that were being released, so iRacing was pretty much the only place you could go and find in town for some competitive oval racing. So yeah, got on it, joined some leagues, and learned the hard way, just grinding until following people, trying to figure out lines and how to fuel save and how to tire save. And yeah, I don't think we're the finished product, but yeah, got a lot of experience under my belt.
Well, it sounds like it, and good thing you didn't find the old NASCAR games, because you can just put the bumper to everybody there. It doesn't matter. You just go right through them, right? But
I had
anyway,
NASCAR Heat back in the day. I had NASCAR Heat on the PC. It was cool because the oval racing in England had a mod, so you could do some of the British oval racing as well, which is kind of cool. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Well, anyway, I ask this kind of with everybody, but how did you find the Outcast? How do you enjoy the Outcast? All that type of stuff. You know, they do so much practicing, and they're so welcoming and whatnot. So, what made you make your way to the Outcast family?
Hey, Eric and I were racing in Hosted, or in the official. Sorry, I think we found each other, and he'd sent me a message. I think we just had a good vibe with each other in the race. I think we kind of me and him raced hard, but respectful for most of the time. And so, yeah, I think we were just having a good time in a race, and he sent me a message saying he was getting a league up and running, and I just wasn't looking at the iRacing forums at the time, so didn't see the message until a long time after. But I started moving away from an old league that was getting kind of toxic, which so it was wanting to find a new home and a different type of an actual community versus just a bunch of people going at each other's throats all the time. And so yeah, I ended up responding to him and getting the link to the Discord and did a couple of races and enjoyed the vibe a lot more. I think, you can go out racing and be hard, but if you don't have the community, it just gets more and more toxic, right? Because people build grudges, and those grudges turn into deliberate actions on the racetrack, and then people don't let that grudge go, and it goes on forever. And I think Outcast does a really good job of trying to quash that before it really gets too bad. Create a respectful racing community, and put the community before the racing. And I don't think I don't think the racing is a detractor because of it, but if you have the community there and create a space for everybody to just come and enjoy themselves, then that enjoyment becomes, contagious, right? And then the right reasons are being pushed, not the wrong reasons. And, there's a place for competitive racing, but I'm not a Coca-Cola Series driver, right? So I don't think you know what I mean? We're not at that point, and I don't think I ever will be. So I need to be able to chill out and relax and have fun. And sometimes when you get in those toxic leagues, the fun gets less and less and less and less and less. And then by the end of a season, you're done and you don't want to see a league again. So no.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. See, I came over to you guys from my league, and it's a money league, so you're paying the entry. It's
Yep.
gotten very toxic. I mean, here and there,
Yeah.
you guys show up, their I rating will say 1,200, but it's 7,000, and you know it as soon as you see them. So I understand exactly what you're talking about right there. So what I want to do is, I don't do this with a lot of guys, but let's transition over to Homestead this week.
Let's
You
do
had a
it.
little,
Yeah. Well,
all right,
happy.
you had a little trouble with the next gen. You got a little damage, but you're able to get that fixed and make your way right back to the front. Now the truck race just seemed like once you got the clean air, man, you were just gone. You were just gone. There was nobody could really put up a fight with you. Just tell us about the experience, but well, especially Five Flags compared to Homestead.
Yeah. I think you'll never see the next gen on Five Flags ever. So it was cool. It's no different than going to the Coliseum or something, right? It's bigger than that. So it was an interesting experience. I think the next gen suspension makes extremely bumpy tracks difficult. And I think the problem with Five Flags is you have a lot of downhill braking that you have to do. Can upset the car. So you're always fighting locking, like all the way through. And if you're not locking, you're oversteering or understeering or doing something that the car doesn't like. So, but we transitioned to Homestead. I think in the next gen at Homestead, I got caught up in some stuff. It happens from time to time. No matter how hard you try, you kind of become a magnet for stuff. But yeah, we had a good recovery from it. I'd like to have seen what we could have done at the end if we'd been a bit closer to the front. But these are the kind of things that happen throughout a season. You got to pick yourself up and take yourself to the next race. And I was more than motivated to come back and try and get myself in the win column for this season. So I thought the trucks would be a great way to do that. But it wasn't as easy as it looked. You had different pushes at different parts of the race. I thought Carson was really, really strong. I think he was just as strong as me in keeping up in lap time for the middle stint in particular. He just wanted to be on the bottom, and I wasn't going to give that bottom up. I think I gave it up accidentally once and was respectful about it, right? And okay, now we're just going to have to try harder on the outside to make it work. And it took about, I think, a full lap to get back into a position where I could go back down to the bottom. But I think if you held the bottom yesterday in the truck race, it was good on your tires, and I think I could feel it when I was going into the corner. they were going farther up the track, and just the distance alone, you could feel that you were probably going the same speed, but shorter distance around the track definitely helped you pull ahead. And then on the exit, I didn't think I was hurting as much as maybe the statistics showed, but I thought I had good exits off the bottom. I know a lot of other people were having a harder time, but I think that's the cool thing about Homestead. If you it rewards bravery, and if you want to get something done, you've really got to commit to it, and it's probably not going to be fun, and you're going to probably be loose, and you're probably going to scrub more tires than you want, but I think that's kind of why it makes it fun. You've really got to make people earn the overtake and position the car right. So yeah, did that answer your question?
Absolutely, it answered my question. Well, I do have to bring one thing up. You say you're from England. I'm sorry about that yesterday, my friend. Argentina is pretty strong in this tournament so far.
Yeah, no, definitely. Growing up in England, it was a dream to watch my country go to the World Cup and win a final. So still not seen that. Still gonna wait. I will see how much grayer I get before the next opportunity. But no, it was a good game, physical game. But I'm looking forward to the NFL season now.
And beep, 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 beep.
Moved on, but no, I think yeah, it was a cool thing. It was cool to see America figure out what soccer is for the first time. Some people in their own city didn't know they were hosting it, which was funny. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, as we can see you next week at Watkins Glen, I don't know if you're running the Gen 6s or not tonight, but you're going to run the Gen 6. Well, enjoy yourself there, man, and appreciate the time. I know everybody's busy all the time, so I appreciate.
Yeah, I'm excited for the boot. It'll be fun at Watkins Glen. I'm excited for the Gen 6 tonight. That'll be, I think, like I said on the broadcast, a cool balance between how the trucks feel and how much speed the next gen can carry on the Homestead. But next week will be a cool one. A lot of guys have been improving on the road courses. That's the cool thing about watching this league. A lot of people are improving across the board. I could name a load of people that have just come in leaps and bounds speed-wise. So a rising tide raises all ships, Mike. You race around the right people enough, and you all learn from each other. I've certainly learned a lot.
Well, Ian, it's been a pleasure, man. This has been a good interview. I appreciate it. I'm not the greatest interviewer, but you have been quite candid, and I appreciate that. So I don't want to keep you any longer. I know people got things to do. So without further ado, good luck the rest of the season, my friend. And this has been Ian Montrose, everybody. They call him the Bulldog for a reason. Just don't let him get out in that clean air because it's bad for you. So we will see you later, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Take care, my friend. All right, so there's the interview we had with Ian. It was a really nice interview. We brought up the old World Cup. It got a little spicy there for a minute, so hopefully I was able to get that covered up as we were live. Let's hope so. If not, yeah, we're probably off the air right now. So I do see Peter Johnson out here. He said, some of us had to start in the back, he said. Well, that's true. That's you guys' rule. If you're going to be good, man, and stop being so good. You won't have to take your top points thing back to the back every time. But it was just a dominating week for Montrose. Now, we brought up Watkins Glen. We're going there this week, and it's going to be a little different than what you see on your normal NASCAR broadcast, right? Because they're running the boot. The boot's just an extra little bit. It adds quite a bit of technical things to the track. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm definitely not the fastest guy there, but I can kind of explain how to do it. So what we're going to do, so everybody gets to understand what they're going to watch this week, starting Mondays, we're going to take a track tour, and then we're going to come off of that, and we're going to have our interviews with Bob Rediker and with the Glatt Dad. So don't go anywhere, but we're going to take you right inside of iRacing right now, and we're going to take our track tour of Watkins Glen so you understand what these guys are going to fight this week, and it will be a fight this week. All these different setups, how you enter, how you exit corners is going to be completely different, probably in all three of the series. So here you go. Let's give you a nice little easy lap with the next gen car, and we'll show you how to do the track. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so here we are at Watkins Glen. Get a little scenic look. This is what the guys will be faced with. This is a 3.45 mile track. Now you'll say, no, that's too far. Well, if you watch NASCAR, yeah, it is too far. But this time we are running the boot. I want you to bring your attention over here. See my cursor right here, circling. That's what the track looks like. A lot of curves, a lot of round. Now what I want to do, we're not even going to take a fast lap. We're going to drive around the track, stop, show you braking points, show you what guys will try to do in these next gens. It's basically the same type of thing with the trucks. The trucks you might be able to take in a little deeper, and you're not going to shift as much, right? So here we go. We're going to hit test. We're going to jump into the car here. I'll pull the volume down just a little bit on the car. So we're just going to go nice and easy out of the pits. This place is slick. It's hard to drive. It's got lots of fun stuff. So here we go. This is going to be your track tour for the next gen. Ease her out here. Now this is going to be very, very critical how you get your brake bias set, the whole thing. So when you come off of here, usually you're coming here. Now what guys are going to want to do when they come out of turn 1, which we can do later, is they're going to move 3rd here. They're going to short shift up into 4th. Now 4th will make it a little tighter as you come through these sections, but it seems to take a little time off. Plus you can keep the rear tires on it a little better. So you want to be here, you want to be up against this curve, and then you want to try to hook this right here. So then you're going to drift it out here. Now you're going to come into the bus stop. We all see the bus stop. In these cars, you see these signs over here, 6, 5, 4. You're going to brake somewhere around the 6. You're going to downshift. You're going to be in 5th when you do that. You're going to downshift 4th to 3rd, and you're going to try to get into 2nd about this area, and you want to stay off of this curbing. These cars will bottom out, and it will throw you all over. You want to come through here hard, then you want to kind of come out this way just a bit, not a lot. Apex the carousel here. This is the carousel you see on TV all the time. Now here's the part you're not used to. So now we're going to the boot. You want to drift it out toward the curbing here. You're going to shift up into 3rd. Right past these barrels or so, you want to start braking. You're going to downshift into 2nd. This is a late apex corner. So you want to sweep this a little wide right here, and then find the curbing later in the apex. That's what we talk about, late apex. Come out to here and you're going to come shooting here. You're going to shift it up into 3rd, and around these marked here, 300, you're going to brake, downshift. This is also a late apex corner. So we're going to take it a little wide, but then we're going to tighten it up as we come and try to come off the edge of this apex right there. Jump on it a little bit, up into 3rd, and then you're going to have a quick shift into 4th. And then you're going to see these markers here, 300 or so, about right here. You're going to downshift, break it down, downshift again. Once again, you don't want to hug the curbing. You want to catch it about here. You're out to here. And then you're going to go here, brake hard. This is a late apex. We're going to come hard, and then we're going to tighten up the circumference a bit as we go. We're going to step on it here. Most guys will get it up to 3rd. Then you're just kind of floating how you feel right here. Now this last corner, you can take it in 3rd or 2nd, depending how you're driving. Now the end of this padding there, that's a good braking point. Come into the last corner, apex it, down you go. We'll try to make a lap. We'll just have to see what happens with it. Down into 2nd. Like I said, you're going to go quickly to 3rd, short shift to 4th, then you're feathering all the way through here. You hear the tires screeching already. Then you want to try to hook this as long as possible before out to the edge. Up to 5th, then like I said, about right there. Into 2nd, around we go. You're going to come out just a bit, then you want off the gas. You want to be able to apex here. You want to lift your eyes forward, see it down there, out to the curbing, up into 3rd, quickly back to the brakes, downshift. Then we're holding it a little wide. Then we're going to try to shoot it back in, out, and bam. Kind of the same thing here. This is a little wide. I was not. You know, we're not racing, we're just showing. Back on the gas hard. And like I said, right before the sign, you want to get it into fourth, and then boom, boom. Around the corner, take it out a little ways, then you're just going to hammer this and then pick a braking point. These cars are hard to stop, so it's a little quicker than you think. And back on it hard into third, kind of try to brake and feather through the last gear. Don't want to go over these curbings, they throw you. You can see the shifting there. This is not a fast lap, that's just a lap. And there is Watkins Glen for everybody. Like I said, trucks are a little different, but this is what you're going to see Monday night. So everybody enjoy. We're going to enjoy the call. See you later. So there's your little track tour of Watkins Glen. Now, one thing I didn't bring up during those times, this league has an X limit. Now, for those of you not familiar with X limit, if you get damaged, you get an X. If you go off track, you can get an X. I believe it's 20X, I heard. Maybe that's a drive-through penalty or a DQ. I'm not sure. But what you have to watch with these cars, the first corner when we down the hill and we're making the right-hand turn, if you go over the curbing, you're going to get an X. If you go too far over the curbing, you're going to get a cutting the track penalty, and it's going to slow you down. But you will get an X there. You'll come up through the S's. As we get to the bus stop, it's kind of the same thing. If you hit the grass, if you're too low on certain things, you can get an X. And then in the boot, you've got a couple opportunities to get X. And then the big sweeping left-hand corner before the straightaway, over that curbing, that's also an X. So these guys are really going to have to watch how they drive the cars. They're not going to be able to overdrive them, shoot them over the curbing. You're not going to be able to do that with the next gen anyway. But the trucks, you can kind of go over the curbing some. So you really got to watch. You're going to get X's, and you could be DQ'd for no reason whatsoever. And then the last thing I want you guys to pay attention to with these drivers, pit road is right at the end of a big right-hand corner. It can be loose right there, and then you have to bring it all the way down to 40 miles an hour, and trying to keep it under 40 in the next gen and first it's a little bit rough. I mean, you barely touch the gas, you're over it, and you're going to be held for 40 seconds there. Plus your pit box is on the other side, you're not used to it, it's hard to see. It's all the things they always talk about on a real NASCAR, but it works the exact same way here. But speeding on pit road probably going to be a little bit of an issue with the next gen. These things are really hard to keep under 40. So, all right. Now what we're going to do, these are the interviews and stuff that I wanted to do for the Outcast Network. This is a new guy to the league. Now, like I said, he had a little bit of connection issue. I don't know if his mic wasn't connecting right. Mine was acting up a little bit. We did these on Thursday. So I'm going to bring you Bob Rediker now. Now, we've only seen him for 4 races. But his story is funny. I mean, he's not been on the service very long, and these guys have taking him under their wing and trying to help him out. And he'll explain a little bit to it. So I enjoyed this interview. This is exactly what I want. We want to spotlight these new guys. We want to show everybody that's coming into the league. So without any more, here comes Bob Rediker for you guys. Okay, we're happy to have the number 2 driver, Bob Rediker, with us now. I mean, looking forward to these interviews. I love talking to guys that have just kind of come into the community. So I'm looking forward to this, Bob. And I'll tell you what, tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, kind of what brought you to iRacing, brought you to the Outcast, stuff like that.
Sure, absolutely. I've been racing for a while, but it was only on my iPad. It was kind of funny. I was in it was just a racing league on iPad, and it finally dissolved. So I was looking for some other options, and I discovered iRacing. I mean, I heard about it. I just never really looked into it much. But so yeah, I got into that. I bought myself a rig, and I've been really excited to be racing, and I was really surprised to really learn how realistic it actually is. And I was doing official races, and then doing okay with that. And then I got a message from Eric Johnson about joining the league, and I didn't have to think about that long because I heard about leagues and what kind of they were about, but when you're a first time racer, and I haven't been racing that long in the sim, so I wasn't real confident, but I was confident enough, I guess, to join the league. So here I am, and it's been a pleasure so far. It's been very welcoming. All the other drivers have been great, and it's just nice to be in a league that we respect each other as drivers and give each other room, and very respectful driving and competitive, and which I really appreciate.
No, I mean I completely understand that. And then kind of give us your impression. What took you off guard as of competitiveness? How hard these guys race? These guys really get after it. They don't play around. They get right with it. So I've
Oh,
watched
right. I mean,
I've watched you improve
exactly.
tons. So you're
Yeah,
obviously taking into practice and whatnot.
right. Yeah, I've been taking advantage of the practice. I've been practicing on my own. I am retired, so I have the time during the day to do probably a little bit more practice than other guys get a chance to do. But I have a lot of catching up to do, obviously. I'm obviously a ways away from being very competitive, but I I got myself into some situations where I've been up there, in racing up toward the front, and that's been a lot of fun. And I've been learning, watching other guys, following them, seeing what their lines are and where they're accelerating out of corners and such. And it's been a learning experience for sure. And I've been learning, and it's been great.
Well, you said you haven't been on a service all that long, so that's understandable. I mean, it takes that. Plus, these leagues, that I rating stuff, they can say whatever. These boys, when they practice as much as they do, it's very tough. And as I said, I think the first time I got the call where I noticed you in the racing was, I think it was Phoenix, and you were struggling a little bit. But Homestead, you've looked much more comfortable. So, to me, like you
Right.
said, the practice sessions are coming. You're starting to look much more comfortable as you go. How long did you say you'd been on the service?
I've been on iRacing now for about 3.5 months, I believe it's been.
Oh,
So
well, hell.
I'm still fairly new. The other racing game did me, even though it was very rudimentary, racing on an
Sure.
iPad and just looking at a screen down like this. But it did give me some pointers and some, as far as the racing apexes and stuff like that go. But yeah, this is way different than that. It's very, especially this league, it's very competitive. These guys are really good. I raced a few, what about 2 months or so in official races, and that was going better. I got it actually up to the max, the 499 safety rating, so I was kind of proud of that. And then, but as far as getting up into the A league and stuff, but actually, I was, I actually won some races in there. So usually on a super speedway, so those are my stronger tracks, the drafting tracks. But I struggle a little bit more on the short tracks, a little bit more on the road courses. But intermediate, I'm okay at. I think, like Homestead,
Sure.
what we're running this week. I feel a little bit more comfortable on those sides tracks, but I'm trying to get better on the short tracks and the road tracks. So
Well, you kind of explained what brought you to Outcast. You got a message, you came in, you tried it. You, your first impressions you kind of showed us, but just explain to everyone. I try to do this with everyone you probably saw last week. Explain the actual family setting that you feel here, that you're welcomed. There are sessions put up for practices. I mean, it's just incredible what these guys are trying to do.
oh, right, yeah. I mean, I've been in contact with and had conversations with a few different drivers, and they're all, basically, hey, Bob, if you ever need a hand or if you want some pointers or, just let me know. I'll do a session with you. I'll be your spotter. I mean, it's crazy the amount of support that I've gotten so far in this short amount of time that I've been here. These guys are great. They're proud of their league. You can tell it shows. And, you know, I, when there's an incident that happens, a racing incident, You know, the guy that made an error, maybe a slight error that caused the incident to occur, the crash or whatever, and take somebody out, um, they feel worse than the guy that actually crashed out.
Yeah.
And that's just the kind of respect and, you know, the camaraderie that goes along with this league. And I'm very impressed.
Well, we're happy to have you here, man. Like I said, I'm trying not to keep everybody real late on things. We're not trying to get it too personal things, but I appreciate the time, Bob. I know it takes out of somebody's schedule. You had to come and you had to sit down here with us and do it, but keep that improvement going, man. I saw it at Homestead. There's no question. I'm starting to see it. We'll get a little more technical tracks. You'll start to get it, and good luck in the future. Because, like you said, if you're going to learn, this is the place to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate it, Mike. And I just want to give out a shout to you and Adam. I listened to the broadcast, and you guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much for the work you do.
You got it, man. I appreciate you. And there it is, folks. Short and sweet with Mr. Bob Rediker. We appreciate him in the league, and we'll catch you later, Bob.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye now.
Now, if that is not why I wanted to start the podcast, I don't know what is. Just been on the service for, 2.5 months. Able to talk to some admins, get in here, start to learn, and actually enjoy what the service brings for all of us. Because this is what we all do it for. It's for fun. It's for a release of tension from everyday life, and then somebody so new being accepted. That's incredible to me. A lot of times people just won't do it. They won't trust it. But these guys trust it. They trust the process. And we saw Bob improved. He was running near top 10 at Homestead. I mean, he's getting better and better. First couple of tracks, he had a little issues, but now he's starting to get it a little bit, and these guys are helping, and it is a wonderful thing to see. Now, I'm excited about the next interview. We got the Glatt Dad. You all know the Glatt Dad, and I think they're probably watching. Hopefully, there's some other people watching, and we appreciate it. But we're going to bring you the Glatt Dad, and I wanted to find out, what his goals were for OCM, and we know he's getting busier and busier all the time. I mean, this thing is starting to go. He's getting a little more success with it. So, without any more delays, I'm going to bring you the Glatt Dad, and then we'll discuss a little bit more about Watkins Glen. We'll get out of here, and we'll say goodnight later. But right now, here's the Glatt Dad for everybody. All right, joined by the Glatt Dad here, as you see in the little section right there. For those of us that haven't got to see Adam, I've never got to meet him yet. There he is. And Glatt Dad, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do on your normal everyday basis, and then we'll get into what brought you into the Outcast and moving forward.
Well, first off, I'm a dad. That is the most important thing to me, and being a husband to the Glatt mom. And my daily festivities when I'm not calling the races or any of that flim-flam that goes on track when we're turning left and sometimes right is I am a construction superintendent. Push dirt, lay out job sites, just everyday grind in the civil site work part of things. But yeah, and then I get home and stress on how good I can make the stream. As that I'm always worried about something's going to go wrong. So I'm in here early trying to make sure everything's going right.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, but you don't have to worry about it too much, bud. Your streaming is pretty darn good. Pretty stellar. Great camera work, all the good stuff. So, moving forward here, OCM, Outcast Motorsports Network, obviously. What drew you or brought you to the Outcast family that made it, the place to be?
I mean, what drew me to Outcast community was how welcoming everyone was from the beginning, very beginning. I came in here as a broadcaster for another community, I guess you'd say. Didn't go as planned with them, so I kind of just stuck around as things kind of died out with them. But everyone was just so welcoming from the beginning. I mean, it wasn't just another league where you show up, you race, you leave. It felt like a group of people who genuinely wanted to build something together. As I got more involved and saw how passionate everyone was, it wasn't just about racing. It was about creating a competitive environment where people could have fun improve their skill set. We go through the incident review each and every week, multiple times a week, to figure out how we can improve ourselves. Not saying that anyone's at fault, but going on, and each race we get better and better and better as we're on season 5 here. But it's to improve. We make friendships along the way, and that just really resonated with me. We got a great group of admins over here, and from the broadcasting side, I also saw an opportunity to help showcase what the community had built already before I even showed up. The drivers put in countless hours preparing each week, and I wanted to give them a professional platform to showcase their talents and be seen and appreciated.
Yeah, that's kind of what shocked me the first time I was in the group on the voice channels, and I saw 20 guys after the race, and I was like, wow, these guys really do care. It's very important to them, like you said, working on their craft, trying to get better, try to catch the fast guys. I think what they're doing, but as we've seen, you're starting to get a little bit of success with this thing. It's starting to build up. You're getting busier every day. So tell us a little bit about what is the ultimate goal, where you want to take OCM in the future.
Ooh, that's a tough question. The end goal here for Outcast Motorsports Network is to build it into a premier destination for racing leagues as a whole. I want it to be known for professional production, exciting storytelling, which is what you and I have right now going on as we feed off each other flawlessly and do a fantastic job. I think we do each and every week. And just giving every driver the feeling that they're competing on a national stage. I mean, it's important to me to make them feel important. And at the end of the day, if someone hears the name Outcast Motorsports Network, I want them to think of the Glad Dad. I want them to immediately think of professionalism and passionate about, making their league as important as it can be. Um, and I just want to treat the communities, each and every community. I know Outcast comes number one usually, but any of the other gigs that we may have picked up, I want them to feel just as important as Outcast Brothers. So, I mean, that's what OMN is about, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job with it, whether it's building cameras for specific tracks, and the production level is just absolutely top notch. I mean, there's nothing you can complain about with it. But okay, so ending on this, I didn't know how I wanted to end it with this, but I appreciate the kind words for me. What would you give me for advice on what I need to do to maybe fix this a little bit, do a little more on the broadcast? I'm not been doing it forever, so what should I be focusing on within the community to make myself part of the community?
Well, you know what? You've came in here to the Outcast and like a whirlwind. I mean, you did. You came in like a whirlwind. Everyone was so welcoming to you. We definitely appreciate the presence and the what's the word? The knowledge that you have brought here to the Outcast and to the broadcasting. As far as the podcast goes, I absolutely love it. Watched the first episode, I believe at least 3 times. Just kind of see where you could improve, and you're not going to get a comment from me, pal.
I appreciate it, man. And again, I don't want to keep you too long. You've been out pushing dirt in the heat all day, and I'm sure you got your broadcast lined up for tonight with the, what is it, Gen 6s tonight, I believe.
That's right.
So,
yep, Gen 6 is at Homestead. It's going to be a good one, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it'll be another great show. So, I'll tell you what, there is the Glad Dad, everybody. And he's one of my favorite people that I've met in this community. I appreciate him. I hope you all enjoyed learning a little bit about him. And Adam, thank you again. We appreciate it, bud.
All right, man. Hey, and a final word here before we leave. Stay fast, stay clean, and as always, it's okay to be an outcast. We'll see you later, guys. Take it easy.
Alrighty, so there is your Glad Dad, the voice you hear every week, the guy making all the pictures work, all the stuff. You can just tell he has a passion for what he's doing. I mean, he just does a fantastic job. Like I said in the interview, in building cameras for each track here and there, whatever may look good, he wants to bring it to you. So I'll tell you what, this is just about going to wrap up this episode. We've been here for about an hour. Now, if you're still listening, and you're still with us, put in the comments before this is over, who do you want to hear from? We're willing to, I'll interview the people's wives. I don't care. They're the ones that got to put up with all of our habits and our little, idiosyncrasies, and we got to go hide in the back room with our little steering wheel. So I'll talk to anybody. Light up the chat at the end before this is all over. Let me know who you want to hear from next week. I can't wait to do it. It'll be fun as hell. And then, like I said, we're going to Watkins Glen. It's going to be a little tough for everybody. I get it. But here's a little advice from Harry. He'll tell you how to try to win this race.
There is something else. Tires is what wins a race.
Yeah, tires is what wins the race. So this week, try not to slide them too many times, boys. We'll start losing grip, and it won't be no fun for anybody. You're going to have all kinds of problems if you start to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bid you all farewell. It's been a blast. I have enjoyed it completely today. So my first live show. You'll see I'll make a mistake here and there. It's all good, but we're going to come back next week, 9:30 on Saturday mornings. We are here. And all I ever really want to say is, let's keep it clean. Let's keep it green. And we'll see you around the corner. Thanks for joining us, everybody. See you next Saturday.